Okay, we'll start with the farming for beginners. See, there are many now. On one side, we need to understand that rural people are those farmers or foreign laborers are not interested in farming. They are like they are unhappy with the farming income and all. They are not satisfied with their income, and with these environmental disasters like to this year rain, last year drought and all. So people want to quit and go to cities for their livelihood. On the other side, city people, those who are into soil industry like different companies or different profession and all, they want to get back to their roots and start making their livelihood in farming and livelihood. So at this juncture, we need these people who have earned from cities and they want to go back to roots. They have their own picture about farming and all. They want to start farming. But they need to learn a lot in this, and in both the cases, the principles are same. What need to be done, what need not to be done, and all. So in that juncture, we'll try to understand what we need to at the beginning, how we can start with this. So here we need to understand what is farming. Farming is not just cultivating few plants or rearing some animals, expecting some profit. It is more than that. It is more than it's like equal life kind. Like it's a way of life for that matter. We need to understand what exactly farming is. What are the plants in that? For me, agriculture is not just rearing some plants or animals. It is understanding nature. Without understanding nature, without understanding different plants available and cultivating only few crops or few plants that we want, it is not farming at all. So next is the problem with this field farming is there are many experts in this. It's like everyone is expert, everyone has their own view, and sad part is everyone will be right in some point of time. So because and they will not be right in all the point, because some says organic farming is good, someone says chemical farming is good. They have their own viewpoint, their own justifications, and all those things. It's like we talk, including me. If I talk like we talk, being in a frog in a pond kind of thing. So we are not looking into holistic way. So here farming is like everyone will be expert. So we need to understand who are really experts and who are just like they talk. So for that reason, we need to learn from where to learn, from whom to understand. So that this presentation will also guide you. Okay. Next is, why do you want to get into farming? So you need to ask yourself why you want to get into farming. Whether it is a main revenue that you are expecting. So I am fed up with my earning. Like if you are low income or you are in high income also, now I want to quit and my farming should be my main revenue. If that is the case, then you need to follow some. Even extra revenue, I have some for income, but I also land and I can dedicate some time for farming, and this could be my extra revenue. Those so then your farming procedures, like you need to dedicate time along with your profession, then the principles may to some extent change. And you are passionate about farming, so you have a hobby of, like some people go for trekking, some for travel, some go to music, something like that. And in that case, if you are interested in farming as a passionate, and this will also fetch you income, but passionate people will earn more than these other two people. So if you are a passionate of farming, then definitely this is like you can earn more than other. So want to relocate to farming as well. So you are like now you are working, you want to quit that job or go back to your city, your village and earn. Then you need to follow some principles. Then we need to understand what and all you get for farming. So when you are studying, you are guided, like you become an engineer, you will get these things. If you become a doctor, these are the things. If you become a police, you will get these things. So when you become a farmer, what and all you get? Those things, questions you need to ask yourself. So first is income. That's obviously income. Without income, we don't do anything. So income we need to get. But what is income, that we need to understand. Income is just in terms of money, monetary wise, like notes, or more than that. Okay, we will understand one by one. So food. So water rich food doesn't mean only few crops, like I grow only mango, 10 acres of mango or 1 acre of mango or 1 acre of sugarcane, 1 acre of jawar kind of thing. No, if even whatever the land be, 1 acre or 10 acre or 100 acres, it should involve all the, like it should involve some grains for your room, some vegetables for your room, fruits, and even some medicinal crops as a to release your day to day this one. Okay, so in the sense, it's not medicinal in case of like only when you are sick and all. Medicinal crops to release the beauty of that plant, the taste of that plant, to understand the nature. So for that reason, you should be like, I'm not saying that medicinal plant doesn't mean when you are suffering from disease, you go to that plant and pluck it and eat it. I'm not in that at this stage. I'm not in a position to guide that. So right now, but you need to understand Food means not just jawar or sugarcane or something like that. You need to take grains, vegetables, fruits, medicinal, etc. All those things. Next is daily usables. So many times we buy many things like from morning to evening, like mask, like the toothpaste, toothbrush, soap, shampoo, all those things. All those things can be achieved through this plants or even animals. So those things we need to understand. For that, we need to have a knowledge of that. So we need to understand what is soap, how plants give, what plant can be used for what purposes, and that you understand, you will be saving on your expenses. It's not just saving, but you are understanding the nature. You are able to take the benefit from those plants. You are able to take the benefits from that animal, so that your relations with that plant or animal increases, and then you get to understand better the nature and the farming. Okay, so for that, even beverages like this, tea is not the only beverages, but apart from that, many plants that are available in your farm can be used. Mango leaf, guava leaves, many things. So any plant that at the end we'll have photos of that. So we need to understand that. So then next is no root. See, farming is not a no, like it's not a machinery kind of thing. There is a study done in industries, like someone going to this textile industry, or someone going to some other job, any job, like if they are doing a routine job. Suppose if you take a garment industry, then people, one folds, one puts the button, something like that. He does the lifelong that job. So in those cases, who does a routine job are more prone to diseases than those who are into non-routine jobs. And in that case, farming is non-routine job. You never do same things again and again. Every day, every minute, every hour, you do different job. This season, this month you go on sowing, next month you go on harvesting, and during the sowing, different crops require different methods of sowing, different crops require different methods of harvesting. So all those things, it's never a routine job, and every day your brain, your body has to work in different fashion, and that's the most advantageous. So those who are doing routine jobs and non-routine jobs, the study is being done that routine jobs people suffer from diseases, and this is the advantages. This is more than an income. It's not just like monetary terms. It is more than that. So next is with nature, fresh air and fresh food. You understand that. So those who are residing in metros and all suffering this from this air and fresh air, you understood the relevance of air during COVID time when oxygen was sold. And even today in Delhi and all, and there are Paris, there are countries where vehicles are not allowed, vehicles are banned because of pollution and all. So in that case, when you go in farm, if you release that fresh air and fresh food, and imagine there are many cases, the people who are there in this call also will be understanding the importance of that. Those who eat fresh plucked mango and a 2 days old mango, though it is looks very fresh, kept in air condition and all, still the taste differs. It's not just with mango, any vegetable for that matter. You just pluck the tomato and eat it, and you take the tomato to the from the market 2 days, maybe fresher than this you plucked from the plant, but the taste differs. So in that way, you enjoy the fresh food and fresh here. Living with the sun is an advantage. So here farming, see other jobs, like if you are working in, if you are working on a shift basis, you need to go in the night duty and sleep in the morning and all. That's your biological time is hampered. So when you are farming, you need to wake up early morning with the sun, and you can go to sleep with the sun only. So then you are living with the sun. All your body parts live with the sun. So they don't understand our the clock. They understand the sun as a clock. So in that case, this you need to understand. Living with the sun is an advantageous. This is also more than income. This is the advantages that so why I'm saying all these things is, if you are comparing someone who earns x amount and you are x minus some amount, then you don't bother about this, because that x minus whatever is there, these are the advantages that match up with that. Next, food for animals. You also get fodder for that. You are enjoying like your animals, whatever your sheep, goat, poultry, cow, buffalo, whatever it may be. Even donkeys now people are rearing for milk. So in that case, whatever animals you rear, they get a fodder from this. Then raw material for many industries, that you can supply for raw material for many industries, and even you can also start some small things wherein your raw materials from your field can be sold. Then medicines. See, we have, even if you have a small tulsi plant, this could be a very good medicine in case of your cold, cough and all. Only thing we need to use, you understand the benefit of it, how to use it. And it's a simple technique that one can follow. Giloi Amrutbali plant, that also has a very good advantages in case of fever and all. It can be made into chutney. So these two, but there are many such plants which can be grown along with your farmhouse, around your farmhouse, so that they can be used whenever you need, and not just when you are suffering. On a day-to-day basis you can use, so that it can be act like a vaccination also. It can be preventive also. Then see, you can understand the Bhutan is the only carbon negative country. It's the importance of plants. So when you have plants, more of plants, biodiversity, you are contributing for lesser reduction of carbon, which is more important for your next generation. Next, water conservation. Even floods and droughts are mainly because of reduction in the plants. And farming just doesn't involve, I said in the very first, like farming just doesn't involve growing jawar, the red gram and all. It involves conservation of nature. It involves growing of plants, long perennial plants. So in that case, if when you're growing, it reduces floods and droughts and predict natural calamities, which you may be surprised. Yes, many plants predict their nature. What happens tomorrow? Many animals predict nature. So tsunami was predicted by cow and all in advance. Even your plants, many plants for that matter, like Cassia fistula, predict rainfall well in advance of 72 days. Jamun for that matter predict rainfall within 15 days of its first rainfall. So there are many things. And when whatever reasons you get into farming should give you money. Because what happens is many times people get into farming seeing that area I am handling from other source, let the farming, I am not bothered about their income. And they get into farming, and within 1 or 2 years they feel unhappy with the farming because they go on spending, and sometimes at the some point of time they get frustrated and leave farming. Don't do that. So if you are into farming, have in your mind that I am doing farming for my money only. Money in terms of all these things. Okay, then even income, you try selling whatever you produce, don't give free of cost and all, so that you get money out of it and you can spend on farming. Then only you will sustain in farming, otherwise you will quit the farming within 1 or 2 years. Then challenge is, there are many methods that you understand from people. Some call natural farming, some call modern chemical farming, some organic, ZBNF, SPNF, forest based, this, that, and all. So at the end of the day, whatever word you use, you need to understand that we are living with the nature. We are using growing some plants, some animals. We are taking a benefit out of it. People call their own name because of their own ego or their own reason. They have their own belief in those things, and don't get confusion with this. Except the chemical farming that we'll understand in the next slide. So all these things are same thing. Only thing how we utilize different parts of these components of this, we'll understand that also in next slide. So different parts, different plants, different animals, how we use for our own benefit. Don't get confused with the names of all those things. Whatever people may call organic, ZBNF, so you call farming itself. I call natural farming and or farming itself. So then traditional and modern scientific. Traditional here all involve ZBNF, SPNF, all these things. Like if I get into this natural farming or forest-based farming, integrated, all these things comes under the traditional farming. I just for my understanding or explanation, I did this. And this modern farming. Here nutrients, we need to provide nutrients to plants and even animals also. So when I'm providing nutrients to plants, here in traditional farming, I am supplying through our animal residue and even plant residue, and that is available in nature. In modern farming, we use chemical fertilizer, which is we are going against nature. There are well proven documents to show that chemical farming is not good for environment, human health, animal health, and even our environment. So we need to understand, there people may ask that are there any proof that this and all, it is proved beyond doubts, but only thing we are, because of our own reasons, we don't want to say that we did a mistake in earlier parts of these days. Okay, then insecticide and pesticides, obviously some plant get diseases and all, some insects and all. In natural farming or this traditional farming, they will be less, and the plants also take care of themselves. But still if they are not able to take, we need to protect by insects. Like we need to go for trap crops, their trap crop itself. There are some biopesticides which we can prepare at our own farm only, we can produce that. But in modern, only chemical are being used, which is again disastrous. And there are well proven documents that many chemicals, pesticides are being banned. Understand this logic, we need to understand. So there are some chemicals which are used, which have been proven successful, that they chemicals have nothing effect, and utilized in the market, used by the farmers, promoted by all this everyone. And after some 20-30 years, some research comes that those chemicals are not good for health of the public. So how this research was done 20 years back, And now who are responsible for this 20 years ill effects on the human body? So now understand, we need to go to nature. We'll not play blame game. We'll try to understand, rectify it, and get into system, positive system. So there are many well proved traditional system which many foreign scientists have written on books on Indian farming system, where we used to control insects, pest with our own traditional measures. So we'll learn those things. Then weeds, many times we feel that weeds, reduction of weeds or removing weeds will increase the yield. But we forget that weeds are also part of our food system. They are also vegetables. They are also helping in our control of insects pest. They are also part of maintaining our ecosystem in farm. And there's a book called Weeds Are the Guardians of the Soil, where the scientists explain that sowing of weed plants, weed seeds, and then growing of crops increases the yield. So we need to understand what is the weed, what damage it causes to crop, then we can make more profit out of this. But in the modern farming, we say killing with herbicides. So stop using herbicides, and even in organic herbicides are also available. I can give you a formula, but please don't use. Try to understand the benefits of these herbs and try using them. Then obviously we make more money out of this farming. Then power. So bullock or other animals, even in modern farming tractor, at initial juncture it may be difficult for someone, but try to learn living with bullocks also, because next generation now urea and DAP is in shortage. If the day comes where petrol and all will be shortage, we cannot have a other option. So we need to live with bullocks. Irrespective of that, but tractor cannot go in some forms, but bullock pair can go in any form. And bullock pair also can give good income or entrepreneurship opportunities, but still in the small farms, if you are not able to do that, hire some bullock people from the villages. There are some what you call systems built across villages, wherein people are rearing bullocks, like just like tractor or auto and all. They are doing outsourcing their bullock. They are just coming to your farm, sowing and all with bullock pair, and they're taking money and they are going. Try to promote these things, help those people. Then harvesting, manual or machineries, both are advised, but manual is better than when you are going in small quantity. Then there are some myths of Indian farming. People give you advice when you get into farming and you go for advices with many people. You come to understand that organic farming will not feed growing population. Or just feed yourself first, then we'll talk about nation. And second thing is, this is the very what why I'm saying is, if population was facing a shortage of food, then there would not have a price drop in for food grains. One thing. Second thing is, we would not have exported food. We had not gone for non-food cropping system like sugarcane or even what you call this biofuel and all. So organic farming will definitely feed the growing population, and organic farming will only feed the growing population. There can be proved with very documents. So organic produce is costly. So produce is costly because very you are that see, when for chappal, when shoes we are buying, there are different 100 rupees shoes also, lakh rupees shoes also. So when you are quality, then why don't you ask quality in food also? Food organic produce is costly not just because the cost of cultivation is high, but it involves more of manual involvement. And those are producing organic now, they are someone who are involving much of their time, and they value their time. They are not just like a labor class. So for that, they want good value for their produce. So it's like economy is more important than ecology. Some people, the economy is more important than ecology. So but believe this, ecology, if ecology is there, then only economy comes. Without ecology, economy cannot grow. So this is killing weeds produces more food. No, killing weeds produces more food, people say, but weeds are itself food. I have written a book on this, like 200 weeds I listed, wherein every weed can be used as a food. So then we need to understand. Then cotton can be grown with chemicals, as it is not taken orally, but and taking example of BT cotton. Understand, BT cotton, France imports cotton from India. They import non-BT cotton. They never import BT cotton from India. Understand why they must be importing non-BT cotton. And now there are many proven records. Cloth also can cure some diseases. Color of the cloth also can cure some diseases. There are even your music can cure diseases. So in that case, cotton cloth has also some impact on our health and our system. So for that, we need to understand that organic farming is good in all the crops, not in just food crops. Some quotes that we need to remember when you go to organic farming: use of pesticides is more dangerous than atomic fallout. It's said by Dr. Wiesner, science counselor for President of America. Thus, we need to remember use of pesticide is more dangerous than atomic fallout. Livestock fed organically grown fodder are disease resistant. So when your animals are fed organically grown fodder, it is more, the animals are more resistant to diseases. Then obviously you are spending less on veterinary care. So it was said by Sir Albert England, scientist. Life would end on Earth after 4 years of last honeybee dies on Earth. It was said by Albert Einstein. The day then honeybee ends their life on Earth, 4 years later will not be there. So for which honeybee has to sustain. If honeybee has to sustain, our farming system should be in line with our ecology. Otherwise, we'll be ending our life. So there is a Robert Howard, botanist, who wrote a book on Krishi Samhita and English Agriculture Testament something. So he praises Indian farming system with well documents and all. So for which we need to go back to routine. Now where to begin then? These are all the things, but where to begin as a startup? First, when you start your farm, set a border. So border minimum, go with a minimum temporary border, and later it should be replaced with a live fence. It should not be a solar fence and all. They are not permanent fences. Over a period of time they will collapse. Again you need to invest and you are losing your biodiversity. Let the space go. Let that space also fetches some revenue, but go with a live fence. There are many plants which are can be placed. So minimum, with minimum investment, with bamboo or some wire, you have a temporary border, and plant some live fences, and then you will get good return out of it. Begin to know local people where your farm is. What many people mistake they do is they buy a land, and from the city they live in city, they directly go to farm and get back to their house. They never start participating in their social gathering. They never participate in the local villages events. They never talk to village people. This is the major mistake that we do. See, when you join an office, don't you talk to your colleagues, or just you go to your chair and get back to your house? You participate in their birthday, their anniversaries, they go to parties, you spend weekends. So why don't you participate in the fun? This gives lot of knowledge, lot of support from your people. Otherwise, you are unknown. Like someone American living in my village, nothing happens. So person coming from England or Bangalore, for me same thing, because you are unknown to me. So you start talking to villagers. This will get you lot of returns for you in future. Know the local plants and other success and failure stories in the villages. Why you need to talk to people is you will understand what are the local plants grown, because now you purchase a land in A way, or you have a land in your A village A. Then you take the advice from the city person who is scientist, who is looking after all the villages. So he guides something, but which will not suit your village because of many reasons. I have got to know that in the same village, like two farm plots, two agriculture lands, sowing of same crop should be grown in like different season. Like today, in some plot you say sow safflower today. In other plot you cannot sow early sowing. It should be late sowing. Based on the soil quality, you need to delay or prepone the sowing of same crop in the same village. Then someone sitting in Gulbarga, how can I guide you your plant like when to sow? So try to local people. So for that reason, you need to have a local social gathering with your participate in social gathering of your local villages, and understand the success and failure stories, so that you don't commit the failure stories. You take the success stories and do success. Otherwise, it's a trial and error for you also. Don't do that. Regular visits. So have a regular visit to your field. So many times we don't do that. So a regular, on a weekly basis or a daily basis, it's a visit. Then only you can learn. You don't like, it's not, I'm talking about you don't believe your worker. Worker is honest. I'm not bothering about that. But when your thoughts and worker thoughts are not same, you, and when you go to field, you look in your own way. He looks in other way. So your thoughts are more important than the labor thoughts in your farm. So have a regular visit. Inform others and invite to farm. They may it be your friends, may it be relatives. Take them to as a field. It's not free. You don't spend on them. Even like you don't spend. If they are interested, let them come. Let them have a food with you. It's like social gathering in your farm. This helps a lot in your future, because your social network increases and your going to farm becomes a passion. Family members, if they are interested, that's the most thing that we need to do, and many of us don't do that. Now you need to remember, it's not the 9 to 5 job. You must be awake, and it is not 24-hour job. I'm saying it is not 9 to 5 job, and doesn't mean that it's 24-hour job. It's only 5-6 hour job. It's effective 5 to 6 hour job. 5 to 6 hours a day. Which 5 to 6 hours we don't know. Maybe morning, in the evening, day, night, whatever. So that we need to understand. And looking farming in isolation from the nature, that we are many of us doing, that we are looking farming in isolation from the nature. No, you need to understand your nature, your farm pond, whatever, your area, then only you will be successful. Try to now, from now onwards, you try observing all the plants in your area, you start observing birds in your area, then try to understand that even butterfly, even the flow of water in your area, that also will matter a lot. Next major mistake that we do is labor and midmen are treated as a threat to farmers. We laborers are not available, midmen are taking our money. See, name one industry where one product that is sold without middlemen. Even law, legal things, we are having a middleman. Lawyer is there between the judges and us. I'm not, please take very positively this word. See, and anything for that matter, middleman. So you cannot sell a vegetable without a middleman. You cannot sell. See, it's highly important. We guide you, you should sell, but it is not possible in a larger scale. In a small scale, you can do that. But still, I treat middlemen and labor to be part of our farming. They shall also enjoy our profits to some extent. And labor, people said they don't work and all. I believe that if they are, see, at this juncture, when people are paid 500, 200 rupees per day, human labor, and we cannot expect them to be honest, and we cannot expect to work hard like for every industry has that problem. It's not farming, even telecommunication industry, insurance industry. You try to understand labor turnover. There are experts who are there in guiding industries to see how the labor turnover can be reduced, and they are paid for it. And if someone outside like me can guide you, reduce the cost, higher, remove those labor turnover experts, and let the labor only work, then what industry says? So similarly, we need a guide. We need to spend on them. We need to spend on them. So labor is also part of our farming system. We need to treat them as human beings, and we need to see that they also earn a good amount from farming. Then festivals and our beliefs being treated as a blind belief. Don't do that. Like they are rain predicting technology, they are seed testing technology, they are all festivals have their own role to play in our farming, and we need to understand that like today we are celebrating Ganapati, so that also has some relationship with our farming. You shows like you do that Dasra, Deepavali and all, they have also some relationship. Holy, they have that also relationship. We need to understand why this festival in relationship with farming. As a software engineer, as a doctor, as an engineer, I may not have a relationship with the festival, but we are celebrating the grand, and we are asking for farmers not to celebrate. It's a blind belief. They're all, but as a farmer, we need to celebrate, and that in the form where we are cultivating. Singing is just a means of entertainment. No, it is also helps in yield. So people when for sing in the farm, we say they are doing for entertainment. No, it also increases yield. There is a farmer in Jamkandi, Terdal by name. I do have a respect like Darepa Kitturji, where he has placed some speakers in the farm to increase the yield. So you in the plants. So in the night, you keep on the speaker so that plant listens the music and is getting a good result. And he has been awarded with the Prime Minister Award and all. A very good plot to visit if at all, if you are needed. Then Sankalpa Krishi, there was a project by central government like Sankalpa Krishi, and that I commit, I decide, and that much I grow. And people said it is blind belief and all. So there are very proven science behind it. Like Sankalpa, if you make it, you can do that. That I'm not like will not get into that, but there is a science behind every type of farming. Okay, then understand the components of now these things you need to understand. So you understand what are the components. All these things should be there in your field. So annuals, biennials. So there are some crops like every 30 days, the 90 days you need to harvest and sow them and all. Perennials like mango, sugarcane and all, some perennials. Fruit crops, every plot should have all the fruit crops. Name it 30, 40, 60 fruit crops your list. See that every fruit crops there is there in your plot. You need not buy any fruit crops in future. Vegetable crops, try to have more vegetables. Is not, and even vegetables, weeds that are available in your field, try to use them also. Weeds, vegetables are not here, only sow them and harvest them. There are some plants which are growing naturally. Try to understand them, how they can be cooked, and cook them. I remember the quote from AP Chandrasekharji from Mysore. It's a worth visiting plot for nearby Mysore. Like he said, like if we eat today, that the turn of that time of that vegetable has to come next year. Today, if I eat brinjal, I need to eat brinjal next year. So many vegetables are there in the nature. So we need to practice eating them. Then medicinal, there are many for human beings and veterinary. Fodder crops, you need to have some fodder crops. And here also fodder crops doesn't mean only Napier, Guinea grass or Jawar and all. Whatever plants that are you are growing, many things can be grown. Or fence crops, timber crops should be there. Livestock, have them. I said in the initial, cow, buffalo, sheep, goat, chicks, fish, etc. Because chicks on the chick feed, chick excreta fish can be reared. Fish water like pond water can be given to farm again, which is enriched with potash and all. And fish chicks can be fed on the cow, buffalo, like cow dung and buffalo dung, and sheep excreta and all. So there the biological cycle is maintained, and this is where we need to understand the under see these all these components have a role to play on one another. One excreta of one animal or is a crop, is a food for other things. And even honeybee should be the part of this, because honeybee helps in pollination. It increases the yield of the crops. Without honeybee, all these plants will collapse. So in that way we need to understand biogas, farm pond, well, FIM pits has to be respected. Has be Ajolla house, farmhouse, solar dryer can be small unit with a 7,000, 8,000 small solar dryers are available. We can get into that. So next, agri inputs. So now agri inputs for everyone is means urea, DAP and pesticides, insecticides. But for in natural farming, we can prepare Bijamrita, Jivamrita, Dashaparni and these things. See, one thing you can do for your own. You have 10 barrel, you have your own agri input center, like agriculture inputs preparation unit. You can supply for villages also, wherein you can get source of revenue or social part of your social network or social gathering or social responsibility as a donation kind of thing. You can do that. So have your organic input center. And here I quote like from Gopal Sen, we have started this concept like 2020 or so. Then even today the central government has launched a project called Bioresource Center to be started in all the oblis and all. So any of you are interested to start organic input center in your area and you want a guidance from us, from Gopals we can come to you, your farm, and prepare some 10-15 inputs which we have listed, like we have listed around 84 inputs. We can have a farmer organic input center you are in your farm. So this could be good source for your for income, farm income also. Then labor, here give value their labor skills also. Farm labor is not, people believe it unskilled, but those who get into doing it, then you'll understand what is the skill of it, what to harvest, when to sow, what seeds should be sown, how. So when you are paying your laborers, don't understand that you are paying for their time. You are also paying for their knowledge also. Then the labor payment can be increased. So that way we need to understand, and we need to have a develop of network of successful farmers so that you can share your problems and success stories and you gain a knowledge over a period of time. And this like okay, some examples of return and quantity, like you need to understand. So now why I said like you need to have a different plant, different fruit plants and all. So just for few I am just giving economical point of view. So when you have 5 years old jamun plant, it gives 50 kg of fruits. Imagine 200 rupees kg you are selling it, it will cost 10,000, it values 10,000 rupees. So understand now this calculation, if you go like this, you can plant different plants. That doesn't mean you grow only 100 jamun plant, you earn 100 into 10,000. Then the 200 rupees reduces to 100 or 50 because you take into bulk in the market, and bulk people they try explore you. So in that sense, try to have that small number of different plants. Drumstick for that matter, it gives 100 fruits, priced at 2 rupees also give 200 rupees. If you have around 200 plants in your farm on the border also, it gives 40,000. So now understand all these things. For similarity with lemon, with you can calculate with mango and all. But more than that, what you get is you get to eat each fruits every season. Second thing is you need to go to you people will be going in a car or something like that to your farm. Once you get return, you need to carry something in your car so that your to and fro charges are covered. Otherwise, what happens if you grow 10, 100 mango plants, only mango? In the mango season, you need to carry all that 10. You cannot carry. So you need to hire a vehicle. And that you need to sell. You cannot sell in retail. You need to sell in bulk. Then again, you create a problem for yourself. But if you have a 5 mango plants, you can carry them in the car. You sell to your near and dear neighbors and all. Then you get in sell in retail. You fetch more value. I have seen retired VC, vice chancellor of the university, selling mangoes on the road with a very proud. Yes, I have seen retired dean. There are many people, businessmen, they are sell it. So they are in crores, but still then they do these things because they have a passion and they value their food. So don't hesitate to tell that you are producing mango, you are producing jamun, I want to sell it. When you can sell your job, you can sell your concept of job, like wherever you are working, why can't we sell our own produce? And that are good things. So prepare a plan. Here try to understand this, whatever this green to green is around 30 feet or like 24 to 30 feet you can keep it, and in between the triangle shape it will be like 15 or so, and the into mark that is there, X mark, that will be 6 7 feet. If we go by this, there are some plants which can be planted in the green box. We are like mango, jamuns, sapota, coconut and all, which the spacing shall be 30 feet or so, and which can yield after 5 6 years of planting. And triangle shape, they will be placed at 15 feet, like lemon or even jamun, sorry, guava, fig, all those things they can be planted at that rate, and they start yielding 1 or 1.5 to 2 years and all. So they get a return, and they can be take the advantage of that space till this mango grows or green box plant grows. And that X mark, here the drumstick, curry leaf, fig, sitafal, so some plants which can be grown in that area, even rose, even flower crops. So where you get some revenue immediately next year, and they also sustain for long time. So this is model plot where everyone follows. It's the best plot method that we can grow in. We can apply this, and in between there is a 6 7 feet is there, where you can grow some grains like green gram, black gram, or millets or jawar, whatever you want, and even vegetables for that matter, brinjal, bendi and all. So those things you can grow. And this model, even in 1 acre 2 acres, there are many people who are successful. I read a long back, the person is no more in Udupi. He was having 1 acre of land, and he was growing whatever he wants for his house. Even the cloth, that much cotton is to grow in his farm. Someone went to him, asked him, like, you grow all these things, you have 1 acre of land. How could you, what would you have done if you had a 4 acre of land? You would have done very well. Then the reply from that person was, it's not 4 acres, 1 acre is more for me. Even half acre I would have done better than this. And means what I want to say is, you have 2 acres of land, 5 acres of land, this is very small. No, any acre of land can do anything. So farming you need to understand with a better knowledge. Then just benefits of weeds, like I just wanted to say some weeds. When we take many unwanted plants, it conserves soil, it's food and shelter for beneficial insects, it maintains the soil pH, it wildlife and all, it gives some food, and there are some pesticides also can be made. Some tips we need to remember is, some aloe vera or pudina with all. When you plant mango and all, you can play, what you do is you can add aloe vera or pudina around that plant, so that the natural insecticides can be done, and aloe vera can also be beneficial, pudina can also be beneficial. So such plant, even coriander for that matter, around your plant, it can be a good plant, and for your plant also and for harvest also. Visit and talk to successful farmers. This is the most thing you need to do. Try to talk to successful farmers rather than experts like us. Then labor problem with integrated farming. So labor problem can be solved with integrated farming, not with normal specialized crops. Because nowadays we see many reels or many advisors, like many seminars, workshop, like cultivation of mango, cultivation of coconut, cultivation of this, that and all. But there are very few systems where integrated farming seminars, natural farming seminars, like where in integrated all those things. And because it's like there are many issues with that. But don't try to take a knowledge of each crop, but try to take a crop integrated farming. And every village, every taluka, every in Karnataka or even in India, there are one or the other farmer in each taluka of following integrated farming, and they are very happy. They are not limelighted. So try to visit them, try to go to them, learn from them, and you will learn a lot with them. Contribute for plantation in village. So when you are planting some plants in your village, in your farm, try to contribute for village also. Because if you are incapable of doing that, if you are able to contribute for societal cause, try to contribute in this fashion. 10 mango plants, and there are another 100 plants across your village. The even monkeys don't come for just come for your plot. They also they are get distributed to all of the village. So for that reason, from now onwards, if you are in a capable, if you are not in a capable, don't do that. You can plant in your own field. But if you want to donate, you are donating for a cause for some NGOs across, try to plant for your village. Try to contribute for in your village only. So see that that village develops. And if you want to have a ATG and all those things, for that reason, if you are contributing, there are NGOs who give that also. do contribute in that fashion. Okay, materials versus knowledge. Many times we are bothered about what material, where to buy and all, but we are never bothered about where to gain what knowledge. So try to value your knowledge also, and even pay for that. Try to understand the knowledge is more required in present natural farming rather than materials. Seminars on specialized crops versus just I said it. Okay. Then some farm input that can be prepared are there are very specialized organic inputs for seed treatment, nutrient supply, insecticide, fungicide, even for virus, which we don't find in chemical farming. In natural farming, there are some successful herbicides also, herbicides also. Then some like inputs. See, these are the success, failure stories of Kasargodu where endosulfan was grown, sprayed, and endosulfan later it was banned. And there are these stories will be repetitive in all insecticide, chemical insecticides. So we need to go with organic farming. So Jivamrita, dry Jivamrita, Panchagavya, Vermi wash. Vermi wash is a very good, easy product to be made. Fish tonic, sand. So there are many things which we can do that. And there is a book with this all 84, 90 insect. 90 inputs that we can prepare. And again I stress, if you are interested to have some 10 20 inputs in your farm, Gopals is ready to help support you. In the sense, support is not in financial but with knowledge. Insecticides, see there are I see when you go to market, there are many insecticides. So when in organic also these many insecticides are there. It's not just only neem based or something like one or two there, so we cannot control insects. No, there are n number of insecticides can be prepared with the available plants in your field. You need not buy take plants from others also. You can use your own plants in your area, in your farm, to produce insecticides. Another, okay. See, these are the weeds that we classify. These all can be used as a vegetables. If you start now, such 200 with color photos, we have printed a book. So those things can be used. So these things you pluck them and throw away. From now onwards, don't do that. Fruits doesn't mean only mango, guava and all. These are also fruits. This is called cheleno or bilpatri or bale. This, see, try to use this. Try to learn how to eat them, how to eat and eat it. Then you will understand. Oh, these are also have a role to play. Some medicinal plants which you can have. These things also can be aloe vera can just not be medicinal. It can be not even just for facial cream and all. It can be pickled. Pickle can be done with aloe vera. This giloy can chutney can be made with this. This sambar, this all these things can be used. Fodder plants, not just only napier and all. Drumstick is mulberry is a or this what you call fodder crops. Giloy can be good fodder to feed. Baswan can be. So there are many plants which you can feed. And if you want to get into more of this, you have a small poultry farm, small processing, small solar dryer. And if you can start, like if you are capable of doing that on a social group or partnership mode with villagers, you can start animal oil mill and all, so that you get some revenue out of that. Okay, small machineries. When you are to have a machineries and all, we'll look into machineries which we need to carry them to feed. Again, we need to have a bullock cart or tum tum for that, where our or we don't have a road. So try to have a small machineries which you can carry easily with to the farm. Otherwise, our bullock based animal machineries are good. And if any of you are into engineering and all, try to address this problem. That would be a great help for our farming community, with bullock based as an energy source for machineries and all. So to the conclude, like just visit our bgopals.com website to understand more about us. And in any case, if you see that like we are doing a good job and all, try to contribute for a good cause. So we are team of volunteers into software engineers and all. So now we are having some full-time paid volunteers, so which who are contributing for this cause. We are going to villages to train people. We are going to train on cow-based products and all. We are trying to train them on natural farming. We are publishing books. Recently, we published another 2 books on go-based cow-based stories and Krishna-based stories in 2 books, Balago Katamrita and Go Katamrita. So which you can buy going to visiting our website and all. And these 3 books are also there. Incredible food fillings behind fruits. Like what they mean is like unused parts of the fruit plants. When you buy mango, it's not just mango seed, mango leaf, mango peel, all are used. So similarly with banana stem can be used economically, banana peel can be used, banana flower can be used. So similar to that, watermelon peel is sold in the market. We are not using it in Japan and all. That's sold is not the red part. White part is also sold separately. So in that case, like that 33 fruits information is given in incredible food fillings behind fruits. Then there is a Kalegalinda Ahara in Kannada. Weeds as a vegetables. So 200 plants we have listed. Maragidakala Ahara Aushada. This is available in English, Hindi also, where we have listed around 30, like 80, 90 inputs that can be prepared in farm. With this note, coming to the end of this presentation, I conclude and keep open the session for discussion. Anyone of you have doubts or questions to be asked, you can raise your hand and ask. Thank you for this. And I thank Gopals for this opportunity also.